All right. Oh my gosh. We are starting. This is later. This is we're recording on Thanksgiving. Well, nope, it's not. It's
No,
it's
it's
the
no longer
morning after.
Thanksgiving.
It's the morning after, but it's effectively still Thanksgiving. I started the episode by eating ham cooked by my cousin-in-law. It is salty. That is not her fault. That is just the nature of ham. She's a
That is the nature of ham.
she's. If you have had to rank cooks on a scale of 1 to 3,
Everyone back home would freak if they knew I was in here.
this bed looks like shit.
Wait,
Oh
what am I
my
doing in here?
God, that looks uncomfortable. Oh my God of war, that looks uncomfortable. No one's happy with me right now. But there's the nature of ham. I am not a super fan of pork in general. There are cuts of pork that I think are delicious. Shredded pork for barbecue purposes is enough to.
It's a lot more than you think. You don't need to know why things are done, but I'm old enough.
Given how hard I was going, I'm gonna say that's good for that because
by this point, Magni and Modi were set on the
that's a
path
lot.
that led to
That's a
their
lot to
death.
expect from a person
I don't
to just get a
You
chunk
never
of
tried
health.
to. Then help me. Why are you so
So
reluctant to walk
I am
into
gonna
their
come back to
path?
these because imagine these
And
are
make that
like
boy know
the
better.
Valkyrie fights
It's
for this
not
game.
about him. This is my dream.
Like I think you are correct
You're
about
not
that.
some farmhand.
About what? I wasn't listening.
We're Aesir.
About these being
We
the
have
Valkyrie
duties,
fights for the game.
not dreams.
Ah.
And you need to start acting like it. Sometimes I hate
And like with the Valkyrie fights, I had to wait till the in-game content.
Because you just didn't have what you needed to finish it, to do it properly.
Oh, I found out something about armor in the in-game.
Yeah.
Apparently, in the in-game, you can wear whatever armor you want. Like if you like a specified like armor's like perks,
Yeah.
more than the others, you can wear that one and make it look like a different one.
Oh, that's a spoiler.
But only in the in-game, which I'd like to know why that's how they did that.
Decisions were made.
Because in my head, it's like that doesn't really affect anything like for the story.
No, it really doesn't. Well, this place is empty. I feel oddly in danger.
Nah. It is really weird to see these places that you saw in the first game just
In a completely different state, yeah.
yeah.
Not here.
Like, cause I've
Business
seen
down
several
in this
places.
library.
I'm like, wait, we were here before in the other game, weren't we?
I do still find it wild that there are people who are like, and we've mentioned this
the
before.
mask,
Hold on.
bringing the giant that killed my sons here. Why?
I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Stop letting your wife think for you. She's clouding whatever's left of your brain.
This isn't about her.
No, it's about your limitations. Accept them and move on. Now go smash something, will you? Honestly, I liked you better as a drunk.
I'm curious, was that like a Marvel reference? Telling Thor to go smash something? Or was it just like a very to the point
Okay,
kind of
come
statement?
here.
Smash.
My name is Atreus.
Finally figured it out.
I suck dick, kick ass.
where you
I'm
killed
all
Mir.
on a dick.
Isn't it? First shot.
Tell me, can you murder a landslide? Smother a storm? He was more, a force of nature, a vessel of power. I was young, foolish. Saw an opportunity to create something more. I know you think it's cruel, but I
I realize
did
this
what
is
I
not
had
the way
to
they want me to
protect my
transverse
own.
this, but this is how.
Why build your house here? What's in there? I'm gonna trust you.
I'm trying to tell you. In the wake of Amir's death, I saw something, the rift. Possibly the birthplace of reality. I looked inside and something was there looking back at me. It whispered to me things I couldn't possibly comprehend, but I knew they were true. When it blinded me, I thought it was over, that I'd never see inside again. And then I found this. And I knew that it would finally let me see the answers. You see, son, I don't know where I go.
You're on fire, Kratos. It will pass.
There's no Valhalla for me. Ragnarok cannot be the end. I need to know there's something more than this. I need to know what happens to me.
It's not happening, but I appreciate your enthusiasm.
My last good eye. That's the truth.
The writing on here talks about a cold breath.
The only time buying resurrection stones seem to make sense to me is if I know a boss fight is coming.
Hold on.
You say. I'll take it. And I know just the person to accompany you.
Obviously, right?
I'm trusting you two can handle this responsibility.
You can count on us.
The wild part about this is,
Don't mess this up for me.
Oh, forgot to mention, Heimdall will be joining you.
I'm about to say, we're just children.
Privilege. For all of us.
But like the only other person that would have made sense
Hold
was
up.
Sin.
You don't want to walk into the blistering cold of Helheim without this. Every Lao should keep you nice and toasted.
The only other person that would have made sense, like to say that and it not be Thor, would have been Lady Sif.
Survived the cold in Helheim.
You believe everything that old goat says?
Thrud, too bad your first time outside Asgard has to be to Helheim.
Nah, we're gonna make the most of this.
Now, as much as I would love to babysit, I have something else to do for the Allfather. If you run into any trouble, just scream so I know where to find your bodies.
Interesting. Interesting. Specifically. Can I walk past that, please? Jeez, come on. What is the deal here?
Finally, I can test my skills alongside the real Valkyrie expert.
First off, Hellwalkers are nothing compared to Valkyries. Second, I thought you didn't believe me.
Well, yeah, the idea, the only other person they could have sent me with was Lady Sif. And the idea of him sending her, yeah, that made sense. It's not even like at a point where it feels like, oh, I can't believe they did this. Oh, yeah, that's kind of expected. I won't be surprised if at some point Thrud and Angrboda and Angrboda see each other at some point.
Here's your chance.
I was like, I forgot that. I was genuinely trying to get somebody to shoot arrows, and I forgot I was playing with the person that shoots the arrows. The thrill of the kill, the smell of the chase.
For the record, I believe you fought the Valkyries. I just don't believe it was Grandfather who corrupted them, or that he caused the desolation in Midgard, or that he had all the giants killed. Am I missing anything?
Lots actually.
You don't believe the truth. Gotcha. Moving the fuck on. So earlier today, did you understand that I was parodying Riding Dirty? Like, did that come through? Okay, good. And we both agreed that
it worked.
Yeah.
It definitely worked.
But we both agreed that it was not something that needed to be.
No. The world is not ready for such things.
Like, it was there. It's like, oh, this does fit. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, that's no.
Oh god, they hit so hard.
Yeah, they don't like you.
More Hellwalkers!
They've heard. They've heard about
I'm
what
just
you're
supposed to
capable
watch?
of.
No way.
And they came prepared.
I like that you. I like that she was like sweet enough to be like, I won't kill them because you can do the thing. So cool. I can't school. I like you. You're cute. You're a boy, and there aren't many boys around here that I'm into. I mean, God, like, what's your name? Loki? What a dumb name. Come here and kiss me. Oh man, Christina Applegate has multiple sclerosis.
That's not good.
Just like a Hollywood star, have to have a bunch of everything. I am sorry. I'm sorry.
In the there was a message where you're like out of music about Kratos' skin
Well,
the next time
what
we
other
record.
heinous crimes has my grandfather committed?
Let's see.
Oh!
Anaheim,
I'm gonna
Tortured
front like
Deer,
the
Groa,
messenger
Murdered
mic
Deer.
wasn't
Goes
picking
on
up
and on.
properly.
Interesting.
Like it was like
Where'd you hear
clipping
it?
in and out, and I
Freya and Mimir
didn't understand what the fuck you were
so
talking about.
his traitorous
But
ex-wife
yes.
and a bitter former advisor.
I have a thought.
You don't believe me, but
Give me a
No,
second.
I don't. Either
They're
you're full of
talking.
crap or you're a hypocrite for helping him. Can we
I'm
just
both.
focus on the mission?
I am full of shit and a hypocrite. Done about this.
my father
True.
wasn't always the person he is now. But he changed. Maybe Odin can too. I know how hard it is to hear this stuff, but you should know the truth. What you choose to do with it, that's up to you.
Okay, so Mark,
Uh-huh.
Kratos' skin is covered in the ashes
Of his dead loved ones, yes.
of his dead wife and child. Let's assume, because there's no reason to not assume that this is the case, that's his entire body, right?
Uh-huh.
You know where this is going already, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So that includes, like, I'm gonna bury the lead here. So that also probably includes his butthole, right?
Yes.
Like the inside of his butt cheeks. So when
his
he
urethra, his butthole, his...
So when he poops, like, I don't know if your urethra counts. I'm pretty sure that's skin, but I'm pretty sure that's just skin. Ugh, I don't like it. So like when he poops, he has to wipe shit off of his dead wife and daughter.
Uh-huh.
In theory. In theory.
In theory. In a game theory, yeah.
But that also means, and we know that this is the case because Atreus exists,
Dead end.
every time he
This is where the
fucked
masses had to
somebody,
go.
Uh-huh.
he was shoving the ashes
Let's double
of
back.
his
We'll find a way
dead
around.
wife and child into some, I don't want to refer to them all as whores, but into some chick's soppy wet cunt. Including Luffy. So I'm curious. Because I have to be
More
curious.
Hellwalkers. That means we're headed the right way.
Did Luffy understand that like what he was? Like, did she understand that he had the ashes all over him? And did she understand that that meant that if he put his penis inside of her, that he would be fucking her with the ashes of his ex-wife?
Yeah, because the thing is like, people from his, place of residence specifically, at the very least, like, they knew.
Yeah, they had to. And with that being said, it's not just a matter of, like, pay, but also, in the other games, he was already the ghost of Sparta.
Yeah.
So, and in those other games, we have sex as Kratos.
Several times, yes.
Yeah.
We've gone over
Which is
that.
something I will never, like, not talk about because it's not in these games, but I understand why. Because when the hell was Kratos gonna, like, have time to,
It's like, hey, Atreus, chill over
I'll be
here.
back. Like a real black dad.
Go make
yeah.
some arrows, son.
Yeah, go in there and do something.
Anyway.
So yeah, that's my thing. It's just, I find it interesting at the very least.
Well,
I
there's
got
a big
this.
hole.
You cannot fix this on your own. You are going to
Sure you
shit
do.
yourself.
Hey, we're okay, right?
But yeah, that's a
Yes. Maybe our
that's
families are just
a
meant to be enemies.
interesting thing to
not
think
us.
about.
I don't believe that.
It's not even something I would necessarily say is something we should think about, but we've thought about it.
But it is true. Like
yeah,
What I
in
do
theory.
believe,
the things
he'll
you've
make a great
you've
Valkyrie.
used are
I'll tell your mom the
correct.
same
Like
Yeah.
thing.
because
He's
the
such a
ashes
light
are on
man.
his skin.
That means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
And he has
Now,
put
we
he
have
has
a
put that
masterpiece to find.
skin inside of a woman's vagina.
I'm imagining that him and his wife kissed. So
So she is like had them ashes in her mouth.
yeah,
And I wonder, like, because I assume for Kratos, sex is yet another opportunity to, like, you know, prove thyself.
yeah,
So I get the feeling that like there wasn't a lot of foreplay. Like there just wasn't. It was just raw fucking to prove a point. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
in the other in the sex mini game, it was a lot of headboard shaking. Like he was body rocking, knocking the boots in them games. Because like I think because the thing was you never saw anything happening. It was the idea of what was going on was that you would always see like something something nearby vibrating or
No way
shaking.
through up here either.
Like as
Now
I
what?
I'm not sure.
the thing is in the first
My
game.
gut's telling me what we need is here.
Because I think it's in the first game. You there's candles.
Oh,
Getting one's easy. Getting good at shooting is the hard part.
maybe you can show me. I'll be the first Valkyrie archer.
Deal.
Yeah.
It
It's
fell through
candles.
the floor.
And
Could
as
be
like
our
you
way
do a
up.
good job,
Let's
and
head
as
back
you do
down
a
and
good
find out.
job, like the wet wax on the candle starts kind of like spurting all over the place, you know. Yeah, like, I ain't
because
got,
subtlety.
yeah. Thank you. Okay, thank you because I couldn't think of the words. Yeah, that is so. It's so, and I think
Now we go right.
because in fucking in what was it in God of War 3, you're fucking Aphrodite. And in that one, you have two topless maidens watching y'all fuck. And if you do good enough, if you complete the mini game and you do it properly, the two the thing I like the most about it is like one's white, one's black, and I don't think they're both topless, but there's some titties out. I know that much. And if you do it properly, what ends up happening is they get so overwhelmed by lust that one of them tackles the other one to the floor.
Yeah. This is a very different game.
Yes, it is. Like this is more of a family game. My son. My name is Atreus. I really would like you to not.
Very, very creepy.
Oh man, I'm a pervert. I would like all my friends know this
Looks like there's
already.
more soundstone on the grave. Sweet. Let's go.
Like nothing. Like no one's
And this
surprised
way's
by the
blocked
fact
too.
that
There has to
I
be
thought
another
about
way.
that.
Keep your eyes peeled.
But I did
Could
think
we
about it.
climb the shield? Oh, we could climb.
Yeah, she climbed multiple times. But yeah, it's a weird interest. It's a weird concept. It's a strange concept.
What's the mask
But the,
say?
like the stranger
So,
part, in my
the
opinion,
mask's pull is a little weird
isn't
because of
necessarily
blood
that
and
he
sunlight,
did
but
it,
I think
or
we're
is
going the right
that's
way.
what's going on.
You
It's
think?
that he's okay with it because he has sex multiple times. Like, because okay,
You know, the main thing that's always like bothered me is like the idea that he doesn't seem too concerned with getting them off of his skin.
I would assume that once he like spent a lot of time in water and he got out and he realized that this is just it, like there is no, like it hasn't altered his skin in the slightest, he's aware that it just isn't happening. Like it's not coming off. And
I want you to pay attention to what I do in a second, because I literally turn a corner and die.
What happened? You were standing there and then you laid down. What happened?
An enemy apparently was just around the corner and touched me. He looked at me the wrong way and I didn't like it.
It is what it is, y'all. I would like to say something else real quick as you know, wow, that's a lot of y'all. As unhappy as I've clearly been with some of the experience of this game. Only some of it, not all of it. I again watched I was watching the Gang Grump compilation, and I think it was like an Aaron Rage compilation because I just like seeing him mad. And just like
that's honestly the only way that I can wait. That's the only way I can watch Gang Grumps is at this point in my life is compilation.
No, we both do.
Yeah, it's not always good when it's just like, oh yeah, here's an episode. And it's not to say that I hate them, because I don't. But I will say that, like, when the first God of War came out back in 2018, having him like try to play it, because again, I'm pretty sure he was playing it for clout because it was popular and everybody, you know, probably he assumed that we all wanted to see him play it or wanted to watch him play it. But it was what it was. He was just like, I don't really care for this game series. And he's just it was weird, in my opinion, listening to him explain what it was about the series that he didn't find appealing. Like,
if I remember correctly, that was like the moment you kind of lost respect for Aaron.
That was the moment, like, his opinion meant jack shit to me. But the reason I'm bringing this up is not because that was in 2018. It is now 2022. Things have changed. So, like, there was another episode after that where he then proceeded to explain what his beef was with the game, as he proceeded to tell people, like, you know, well, he knew that people liked it, and so he tried to not complain.
See anything in there?
And he tried to not complain about the game.
There.
Ooh.
Nice. Whatever you shot crashed through the floor again. Let's head back and check it out. So,
But he
I talk about my
complained,
mom a lot.
in
What's
his
your dad
opinion,
like?
it, like the idea of what the game is, meaning it's like, he complained specifically about the moments where you have to like sidle across like a ledge, and you have to do it all slow, like, you know, because it's building dramatic tension. And so, you know, except for like when you're like backtracking, in that case it's just slow. But he's like, you know, it's like the idea of the game, as far as he was concerned, was just all you're doing is going from one location to the next, fighting alls. Like, that was it. Like, you were going from one place to the next. Like, going from from one like narrow corridor to a big fight arena, and then that was it. And it's like, as far as he was concerned, that was the game. You just did it over and over. And I couldn't help but think, like, at that time, like today that was, this is the same asshole who helped develop a game about dating dads. Like, just shut the fuck up. Like, this, mind you, this was after the fact. Like, Dad Simulator or whatever it's called, like, was after God of War. But I still couldn't help but, like, imagine, like, your game isn't really a game. But, like, I'm sure, but you, like, Dream Daddy, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
But you fucking still, like, it's like, oh no, we did a good job. I'm really proud of what it was. Like, but your game isn't even a game. Like, in the sense of, like, when I say it's not a game, I mean, like, this, if I crank the difficulty down, like, y'all seen, like, even on the lowest possible difficulty, this game will still put a foot in your ass. You have to get better. You have to learn how to play it. It requires skill to be good at it. A dating sim, you can literally just go from
Button mash.
yeah. Like if you fail, do it again. Just do something slightly different because it's just a matter of like selections, and like it's hard to like listen to this dickweed. And like keep in mind, like I have my complaints about God of War 2018. I did, and I have my complaints about Ragnarok. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I don't.
No,
I
it doesn't.
do.
Mom's gonna have a real tough
And
time
I
keeping me
would-
in Asgard after this.
And I definitely have like ideas that would make the game a little bit better, but it's not really here nor there. It's still a video game. It's still a genuine experience, and it's just like like because that was his same issue. The same issue he had with Uncharted 4 was that, in his words, he said that
The mask showed it was
the
straight
game
ahead
looked
earlier.
really, really
Of
good,
course, the waist blocked.
and it was
Maybe they're
fun
trying
to
to keep
watch
people
it.
out.
But then he would have to actually have to start playing it, and then he you'd play, and then you get to a
I bet there's another way
cutscene,
around.
and it was that. Like it, and so all I could think is like, so are you saying that you just don't like cutscenes in games? Because it seems like that would be way easier to say. Just say you don't like games with cutscenes. Like you like things like Mega Man. Like
So,
even
how
Mega
come
Man
you
has
wanted to be a
cutscenes.
Valkyrie?
I did
Like
own
it had
Yeah.
like the original Mega Mans. Have they have cutscenes? It's not like this well
They
thought
do.
out. It's not even like there's not these well thought out, cinematic experiences. But the idea of like I just think like these like this doesn't make a game better is like, how would I put this?
Where to now?
I don't like spending 100 years learning how to do one thing in a game just to progress. So therefore I clearly don't like games like Odin Ring,
Looks like
Elden Ring, and from Software.
From Soft and Terror.
Yeah, but I don't have a
Too
beef
heavy?
with them.
Shut up. Something's
You
blocking
understand
it.
their place in the
I'll take a
world.
look.
They're just
Yeah,
not
I
good.
completely
No,
understand that they have. I don't like fucking what you call them joints? Certain Legend of Zelda games.
Not bad.
Like the ones on N64, I fucking hate them. Like I hate the idea of them.
As I was
I don't like Super Mario 64 at all.
Fight. All strength and
I have
smile,
fucking.
no apology.
I despise
Gave me
Super Mario
courage.
Sunshine.
For the first time,
But
I saw my path
but the
forward,
point is,
clear as day.
I'm not like I wish these things didn't exist, or like I just they're not good or they're not this now. Like, no, I'm not. I'm not saying any of that, and I totally could. I've clearly had opinions about like well-liked games and well-liked content in certain games that I've openly stated with zero qualms in the past. So I'm not above doing that at all. But there's just something about him being like, oh no, it's like fucking, because all you do is this. You don't do anything else. It's like, it's not fun. It's like, you shut the fuck up. Like, that's all I can think is, just shut the fuck up. Like, your opinion, it's not to say that this opinion is invalid. That opinion specifically feels outstandingly invalid because of what it is and not who it's coming from. It's like, it makes no sense, but it feels like he doesn't seem to understand that he likes a very specific type of gameplay. And because, like, I guess you could say he doesn't have any, artistic integrity, because he was only playing the game which he didn't like because he was chasing the trend. Which you could have just not fucking played it if you didn't like it. Was the motherfucker played it for several episodes. Like, he played it for at least 6 episodes. That I know for a fact he played for at least 6 episodes. And it's not important. It really isn't important to bring it up, but it bugged me, and I wanted to talk about it because I had an opportunity.
I'd say it's pretty important.
Thank you. Well, Mark, you want to say
Especially,
anything?
like, given how much we talk about, like, how much we dislike Aaron Hansen as a person.
And it's hey, we haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah.
To be fair. Oh God, that stinks. Oh fuck. All right, Mark. God damn. All right. All right, Mark. You want to say anything for the people in the episode?
Have some artistic integrity sometimes.
Yeah, you heard me, man. Y'all get out.